Today we're going to talk about something that's become incredibly rare, but maybe more essential than ever, and that's the power of silence. In a world that just never, ever stops buzzing, finding a little bit of quiet isn't just a luxury anymore, it's a straight-up necessity.
So let me just start by asking you this, and really think about it for a second. When was the last time you experienced true, complete silence? I mean, no notifications, no music in the background, not even the hum of the fridge. It's harder to answer than you'd think, isn't it?
And hey, if you struggled with that one, you're not alone. There's a really good reason for it. We are, without a doubt, living in what might be the loudest age in all of human history, all thanks to this constant stream of digital noise. I mean, the sheer scale of this information overload is it's wild. Get this, we now process more words in a single week than many of our ancestors did in their entire lives. Just let that sink in. That is a staggering amount of input for our poor brains to handle.
And this, right here, is the big shift. See, the crowd, with all its chatter and opinions and demands, it used to be out there, in the town square. But now, thanks to our phones, it lives right here, in our pockets, with us every single minute of the day.
Okay, so our world is loud. We get it, but what's the actual cost of all that? I mean, what are we really losing when we're surrounded by all this noise all the time?
Well, it really just boils down to this. Noise scatters our attention, it distracts our focus, and it dulls our thinking. Silence, on the other hand, does the exact opposite. It sharpens, it focuses, and it actually strengthens our ability to think clearly.
And believe it or not, this is not a new problem. We're talking thousands of years ago. Philosophers like the Stoics were already warning people about external chaos. And what was their solution? To turn inward, to build a kind of mental sanctuary, what they called an inner fortress, to protect their peace of mind.
But how in the world do we build that fortress today? Well, it starts by completely reframing what we think silence even is. We tend to see it as just emptiness, right? But that's not it at all. It's about potential.
So let's redefine this. Silence isn't a void. It is not nothing. It's a productive, fertile space. It's the launching pad for new ideas to form, for creativity to really spark, and for our inner strength to actually develop.
And here's where it gets really cool. What was once just philosophical wisdom is now being backed up big time by modern science. Let's take a look at how this ancient idea holds up today.
I mean, the philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, he did not pull any punches. He flat out argued that to achieve any kind of genius or profound insight, solitude and the silence that comes with it was an absolute non-negotiable requirement.
And here is the truly fascinating part. He was right. Modern neuroscience is now providing the hard evidence to back up what these philosophers just intuited centuries ago.
So studies now show that when we're in silence, our brains aren't just off or taking a break. No way. They are actually hard at work, activating the very parts responsible for our deepest thinking, for our creativity, for complex problem solving, and for really meaningful self-reflection.
Now, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? In our busy, noisy lives? Well, the answer is way simpler than you think. It's all about starting small.
It can start with these simple, totally doable steps. Try just 10 minutes a day of sitting quietly. That's it. Or maybe set a firm boundary, like no screens for an hour before bed. You can even just reclaim ordinary moments. Take a walk without earbuds, or eat a meal without scrolling through your phone.
Look, individually, none of these acts seem like a huge deal, but you have to think of them like seeds. When you practice them consistently, day after day, they grow into something really substantial, a renewed sense of clarity and focus in your life.
And when you practice this regularly, it becomes so much more than just a wellness habit. It actually becomes a powerful statement in a world that is constantly, desperately trying to grab your attention.
Let me say that again. In an age that is literally designed to be loud and distracting, choosing silence, well, that is a radical act of resistance.
Because when you choose silence, you are taking back control. You are reclaiming your most valuable resources, your attention, your thoughts, and, ultimately, the entire direction of your life.
So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. The world is always going to be shouting for your attention. That's not going to change. The real challenge, and where the real power lies, is in daring to be the one who stops and just listens to the silence.